Hello everybody, Michael here for Tactica Imperialis. As I promised in a couple of descriptions, I've got the new Warhammer Visions. It's my last one on subscription. After this one I'm going to have to go out and buy them. So I'll probably get the next one, which is Astra Militarum. After that I'll see how I go. But a couple of things in here I want to talk about, because this month, as I'm sure many in the 40k community will be aware, the big release were these guys. Imperial Knights. They are, how much? Oh no. Just gonna, oh, there we go. They are about the same price as an Eldar Wraith Knight, so around, as I would call it, the 80 quid mark. So it's about 100 and, no, I'm just looking for US dollars. Whoa, it's a lot. Anyway, that's not the point. They're huge. They are sort of like, they've been in Epic fluff. I don't know if people can remember all the way back to Epic. Epic 40k was 40k on the Tigi scale, i.e. you had a square base that you might see in fantasy, and you could have an entire guard platoon on it, and your titans were about the size of, oh, I don't know, a small building, a bastion perhaps, and that would be your Imperator Titan. It was ace, and in Epic, they were Imperial Knights. They look very similar to the ones they did today, and to be fair, they kept to the fluff on these guys. They kept these guys very much looking like they used to. There are two variants. The Knight Paladin, who is armed with a, I'll find out in a minute, with a rapid fire battle cannon and a Reaper chainsword. Close-ups here. And the second variant is the Knight Errant, who is armed with, if I find it, the Reaper chainsword again, and a massive melter weapon known as a thermal cannon, as shown here. It looks like a massive heavy flamer if you ask me, but apparently it's a melter weapon. But these guys have been the dominant release, i.e. I don't see anything other than Imperial Knights in this book until page, what is it? The next release is on page 32. They got about 30 pages just looking at the model before you even look at paint schemes or conversions or whatever. 30 pages of showcase. Which is quite cool. There's one picture in here I do like. No, I think it's in here. Sure I saw it. I am sure I saw it. Oh yeah, here it is. It shows 3 Imperial Knights looking down on one little grot. I find that picture hilarious. Maybe it's because grots are such weaklings and I was an Orc player and whatever, but that's not the point. Other new things this month. There is a Void Shield generator on limited edition release. This thing is absolutely freaking huge. I.e. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Space Marines high, I'd guess. It's massive. Very detailed. You could stand probably 10, 15 guys on it if you were very, very careful. And to be honest, it's about as high as a flyer. If you think of how high your flying bases are and then put your flyer on it, it's about that high. So, pretty impressive, but it's on limited edition. Moonscape craters have been retired. They've been replaced with Quake Cannon craters, which is a gun from a Shadow Sword variant. These things can hold about 3 or 4 standard bases each. They're pretty cool, very well detailed. Look like they come out of the Wall of Martyrs range. And they're very well done. Chaos players rejoice. Hellbrute. There's a Hellbrute kit. So now, instead of having this derpy multi-melter power fisty thingy from Dark Vengeance, you have one with more power fists, with power scourges, with thunder hammers, with plasma cannons, celebrations in the name of the dark gods and all that. Anyway, there's a new Hellbrute kit and it looks pretty cool. It's kept similar to the Hellbrute from Dark Vengeance, bit less fleshy, and I really quite think it's cool. So maybe Ben, who you saw in my army showcase, would be happy to get one eventually. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm quite happy with it. Chaos players have more things to celebrate. Chaos Attack Force. This comes with a Marine squad of 10, Terminator squad, Raptor / Warp Talons, Maul Fiend / Forge Fiend, a Rhino, and a Chaos Terminator Lord. So much to celebrate there. Then there's some Hobbit releases, some of which look cool, some of which look a little bit derpy. I'm going with Thranduil looking the derpiest. Pull me up on my pronunciation, sorry. I don't know how they pronounce. I've not seen the films. Actually, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I've only read them. I know, shock. And the other releases that I want to look at before I go on to the rest of the articles is Forge World. As I said a while ago, Forge World were working on a Heresy range, a Primarchs range, and this month Well, I don't know when they came out, but the last couple of months they have released 2 new Primarchs. So we already had Angron and we already had Fulgrim. Now we have 1 Loyalist. The first Loyalist Primarch is out. And we have a Traitor Primarch. The first one is him. As you may work out, this is Lorgar. Lorgar of the Wordbearers. He's nothing at all like I envisioned him. He's got an amazing weapon. Really Baroque detailed armor. I'm just going to go for a close-up. So yeah, you can see his staff there. Really powerful. It looks grim and really powerful. A bit static, but very powerful. I can see him being a really cool model. And he has a small base which comes out of the scenic base, which you can use as well. So nothing wrong there. Then we have our Loyalist. As befits the fact we have Fulgrim, his Calamitous duel on Istvan 5 was with Ferrus Manus. So what they did was they made Ferrus Manus. With a massive Great Thunderhammer, servo harness. So one advice I'm going to give with this guy, don't build him, paint him on the frame and then put him together because, frankly put, he will not go and be painted well if you put it all together. It's that fiddly. Something you can do is stick the scenic base of Manus and Fulgrim together and make one big scenic base. So you stick that base with that base and you make one big base. Cool by me. And then of course Angron is in here as well. There's an Orc Army showcase. Some really cool models in here. I'm just going to see if I can find a favourite. Massive Stomper. Dreadmob. Killicans. Ooh, Stormboy conversion. That's alright. There's a little Stormboy Power Claw conversion, which is quite cool. But yeah, he's done a good job. It's not whack on his conversions, but he's done a lot of cool stuff with it. Then there's a load of Golden Demon stuff. I'm just going to flick through it quickly and see if I can find any of my favourites, because some of it's fantasy, some of it's other stuff. That's quite cool. Move on though. Yeah. Trio of Tau battle suits there. So Tau players, this is what you could have done. This one has plasma rifle, missile launchers, and a couple of fusion guns as well as drones. This one is quite funny. I find this one funny. Never tried to scab a Catachan with anything. It's just a Catachan medic, which is pretty much built out of the box, trying to give a Catachan an injection. There's his mate back here having to restrain him. I think this is a really cool diorama. And it was the gold in the duel category, so it's basically like they're having a fight over it. So, interesting entry, and it won. So, full credit to it. I'm going to skip through... Ooh. Dark Angels Dreadnought. I have already started Dark Angels analysis, so these guys will be in my analysis videos pretty soon. Move on. Battle report. I wouldn't call this a battle report. It's more just like talking about the game, if they even played the game. But to make the list fair, they gave the Chaos Army Mauler Fiend, Forge Fiend, 2 Lords of Skulls, a Vindicator, a couple of Obliterators, and a Helldrake. And they took a Dark Angels army against it, which is bad enough. And then they took... I'll let you have a guess. Just take 5 seconds. How many Imperial Knights do you think they took in this list? Okay, I'll tell you. 5. 5 Imperial Knights. Just because this game wasn't already unbalanced. But, to be fair, 4 died. In the end, the Lord of Skulls died as well, but you'd expect that. John Blanche conversions. I thoroughly recommend that if you do get this, you check out Blanchitsu. He does, or is it Blanchitsu? That's how it's spelt. I'm not sure, but be sure to check him out. He does some really good showcases of inquisitorial stuff. Armies on parade. I want to show the Necron one. This guy took the wings of the Necron flyers and he reversed them. I think that's really cool. All the background on some Imperial Knights. This bit is all in a different language to the rest of the book. So it's in English, but then they put the language in... Okay, somebody made a typo at the editing department, methinks. Whoops. Chaos players have some more Chaos Terminator Lord conversions to look at because it fits with the launch of the attack force. There's some really cool ones in here. I'm not going to show you because I'll be here all night. Parade Ground is Imperial Knights, Kel Surprise. Well, this one was actually quite good, so I'm going to show you this one. This one was done by one of the White Dwarf team, and in there are a little LED lights that make his weapon and eyes glow, and I think that's really cool. So that's pretty much all there is. There's a little bit of painting in the back, a bit about painting Hellbrutes, and that's it. And there's a little postscript at the back about the Legion of the Damned, because they got their own little supplement as well, if anybody's interested. Which is basically like the Imperial Knights Codex, like 1 unit, and that's it. So that was this month's Warhammer Visions. If you want me to do February's Warhammer Visions, which was less 40k based, it was more fantasy based, I'll just go and grab it. Well, I think I'll grab it. Here we go. Yeah, as you can see, this one was based on the Dwarf release for fantasy. So there's not as much 40k stuff in it. In fact, I don't think there's any 40. There's a little bit of 40k heresy stuff in it, but if you want me to go over it, I'm happy to go over it. Just let me know in the comments. What do you make of the Imperial Knights? What do you make of all the new releases? What do you make of the Primarchs? That's what I really want to hear from you guys about. So get back to me in the comments, be sure to leave a like, and everything else that you guys do. I really appreciate it. I can see every time I get comments, or I watch my, or I check my emails, I can see things coming back from you guys, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you for watching. My name is Michael, and I will see you all again.